Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Draw Straws podcast. My name is Nelson, joined by my wonderful co host Logan, as you can see to the right of me on the screen here.
Wonderful. I am wonderful.
How have you been?
I am so tired. I woke up early today and went to
Yeah.
work. It's a Saturday and I went to work early in the morning and I
Oh,
smelled bad all day. But that's okay.
well then, welcome to my world.
Yeah. Um yeah,
Yeah.
good. Did stuff. Lots of stuff. Got a I've got a paper to do. I got a thing to write. Gotta
Yeah.
do, yeah. Lots of school stuff. Lots of fun.
Yeah. How's that
So,
been treating you this week? Has it been all right?
uh,
Because I know you mentioned last time that you unfortunately did an oopsie on one of your tests
oh yeah.
or quizzes.
Yeah, doing better on quizzes this time. Quizzes are every Wednesday for my calculus class, and we only need to get 6 out of 13. He's gonna take the highest 6 out of 13
Yeah.
total quizzes that we're taking. So, the stakes are pretty low, but obviously it'll be nice to get high scores to get it all out of the way, of course. But uh, I don't know if I got definitive grades on this week's quizzes yet, but I do feel better about how they went because there were some that I wasn't prepared for, but I think I was able to figure them out during class, which is I think what Calculus 2 is trying to teach us. It's not about completing integrals and derivatives. It's and figuring out how to do those. It's about applications of those, like we're doing physics problems and stuff, and we're you know finding volumes of shapes and stuff like that. And it's like actual real world stuff. Like um, one of the problems that we did in class was finding the volume of a cone. And to get the
Yeah.
formula for the volume of a cone, you use an integral, which is, you know, it's the opposite of a derivative. It's a calculus thing. So if you don't know what calculus is, basically it derives the formula for the volume of a cone, and you can also do like volumes of almost any shape and derive them from integrals. So it's really interesting to see how that ties in, and you would never expect it to be, as integrated with uh, other math as it is. Like it actually, some of the stuff actually matters to real world stuff, which is not what you would kind of expect from higher level
Especially
math.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, that's been going fine. Like I said, I have, I guess the most stressful thing for me right now is figuring out my writing. I do have a presentation to give pretty soon, and I have to figure out how to format that. So we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to be an
Is it?
eight-minute presentation, so the stakes are pretty
Oh,
low. But
is it just a you stand in front of the class, present to everyone, or
yeah, so for this class, it's
by
it's
yourself,
programming languages. We
or is it
have
group?
say what?
Is it just a solo
Yeah,
presentation,
solo
or
presentation.
oh, you got this. You don't have to worry about the group
Well,
then.
yeah, but I mean, basically, I'm going to describe the paper I have to write for this semester, which I haven't planned out very well yet. Like I have a good idea of what I want to do, but it's still kind of nebulous. So we'll see if that pans out. I'm not too concerned about standing in front of people and talking. So I think it'll go
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, that's it for me though. Mostly, I mean, put down some bark today at work. That's basically it. How's stuff going for you? Still going to work?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I will try to keep it short and simple. I don't really want to dive too deep into it because I feel like if I do, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole and the pod will probably stray away from the podcast. But um, to give an update, I am now going to be working full time next week.
All right.
So, and I will say this, when I mentioned it to my mom as well as my girlfriend, of course, I may be dramatic about it while saying this, but I was a little bit like I was glad that I got accepted to work full time, and
Yeah,
it,
that's big.
it was an interesting conversation with my boss. I'll say
Yeah,
I think it was rather interesting because I wanted to have kind of like an update for if she still wanted me to finish doing like some of the steel training for all the equipment that we sell up in the front of the store, and she said, "Yeah, I'd like you to be gold certified," and I said, "Okay." Now I asked her, I said, if you want me to do that, how long do you anticipate for me to, to stay at the company?
yeah,
And she told me that, well, I don't, it's hard to, because I'm still trying to gather it, of course. It happened this past week,
yeah.
I will say. I think it happened on Monday. I may be wrong, but, or last week, I think. And I just, somehow one conversation led to another topic, of course, and she asked me if I would be willing to work an extra day for pretty much like however long I work there now at this point, and I said, "Now, I may be interpreting this wrong, but are you considering me to work full time?" And she said, "Yeah, I would like you to work full time." And I
Oh,
said, "Okay,
good.
I'd like the same thing." And but I need to my mom told me that I need to have a conversation with her about like the full-time benefits because from what I know at least, I am still able to be under my mom's like healthcare. So she could still be like my healthcare provider, I guess, through her work.
Yeah.
And I really don't it I don't have to go with what my boss offers me or anything, but the thing is my mom's biggest concern was like, okay, well, if you accept to work there for full time, they're going to expect you to stay there for a few years at least. And I know that I mentioned to her that I understand that, of course, but based off of the way that she was talking to me, it seemed like I could just stay there as long as I wanted to. She was just fine with me working an extra day pretty much for however long I need to.
Yeah.
And I asked her recently, I said, "How long do you want me to stay?" Somewhere along those lines. I didn't ask her directly that, but it was like because I agreed to work full time, I asked her, I basically took everything what my mom told me to do to when talking to her because I wanted to kind of like take a safe route to see, okay, if it doesn't work out for me, then I'll just part ways and I'll go straight into plumbing. And I asked her, do you think the best approach would be like a 90-day trial period to see whether or not this works out for myself and it works out for you guys for the business? And she said, "Oh, I never thought of that. I you can stay as long as you want." That's what she told me. So you can pretty much like I could leave on at any day, any time of the year, and I would be on good terms with her and with the other people there.
Good.
So, which I think for the most part is you find that that's not that common, especially for other jobs, especially.
Yeah.
So I've been, I guess you could say, granted some type of luxury, and I am grateful for that, I will say. So it'll be interesting to start working full time. Right now, she had me make a list. I was working with my mom on that for like a 5-day work week for how many hours specifically and what I'll be doing on those days, as well as a hypothetical, like a what if she agreed to it if I were to work 4-day, 10-hour shifts. So that way I could have the weekends off. That way, I could actually spend time with you guys because I'll
Yeah.
be honest, as much as, and I told my boss this, I said, I know I'm getting too deep into it, but I mentioned to her, I said, my family understands that I have stuff going on the weekends. I work on the weekends, and they seem to accept it as is. And they understand that as much as you guys would like for me to be around, I have work to do. And I'm always, I guess, working. So, and when I'm not working, I'm doing this stuff with you, of course, and playing Fortnite, as you can see here, trying to
Uh-huh.
get a victory royale. But anywho, that's about it. So I got accepted to work full time now, and I think that's for me at least, I view that as
I see this
like
as an
a,
absolute win.
I view it as an absolute win and a personal achievement of my own. So
Yeah.
it's something that I'm trying to take pride in because I've gone from one point all the way up to here, and I think this is a really good milestone, and it'll be like the next step into what I have planned probably within the next year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Because she knows, and I've told this before, I told it to my boss before. I mentioned that, well, I don't plan on staying here forever. You and I both know that, and she knows that as well. She knows that I'm probably not even going to be around till I want to say at least like mid 2026, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And she's totally fine with me leaving whenever. So I think that's a nice little perk to have, and I'm not entitled to really stay. But I as much as I complain about my job, I will admit I have done that before in the past, and I told my girlfriend and I told my mom before. I said when I was doing this, taking this direction instead of okay, well, why don't you just stop working at or leave the company in like June, July, and start working for some of the plumbing companies.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I guess I took this direction is because I want to be a little bit more prepared. And I, there's a lot of experience that I can get from this. And I think it would help me along the way to some
Yeah.
extent. I know there's Are You Still Here? For some reason, there we go. But I'm hoping that, and I am confident and optimistic that this is the right path for me,
Good.
and I think it'll be a good stepping stone for what I have planned later on. This isn't my career, of course. I don't plan on staying at this company for the rest of my life. Absolutely not. It's no. She wants me out of there. She does. She's told me, I want you to go out and find exactly what you want, what you think is good for you as a career. I know this place is not for you. I know your heart is not here. And she knows that, and I'm glad that she knows that, but she does understand that I'm someone who would like to just stick around for a little bit
Yeah.
and improve in certain areas. So, I mean, that's about it in terms of what's
Well,
been
that's great.
happening. I think that's pretty much it for what's been going on with me at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince her, and I think I might on Monday at least when I have another conversation about like the benefits. Um, I'm gonna try to convince her that I really do need a tool chest, whether or not uh, the whole insurance scenario or fiasco, I guess, that she's concerned about. Because I told her, I said, well, I don't want to jinx anything. I haven't lost anything yet from all the tools that I've bought. It's just a small little Milwaukee compact Milwaukee pack out system that I have going on. It's just like three drawers, and then on top of it, there's just a carry bag. That's it. Nothing else. And I haven't lost anything yet. So I think I'm okay, but I really do need a tool chest. So
Yeah.
I went online, I found one, and I think I'm probably going to order it. After I talk with my boss, of course, I'm probably just going to tell her, you may think that I might not need it, but I really do need it because of the weekends and to fix stuff on my own without having to rely on my coworkers, especially. So, but that's pretty much
Yeah.
for last time. That's all that's been happening.
So, are
So
you
I will.
expecting in the near future to have weekends off?
So that was another thing that I negotiated with her initially when I handed her in my schedule
Yeah.
for like for the list of stuff that she wanted me to do. And she I asked her, she asked me actually what was the deal with like the 4-day work week and this other 5-day work week. And I said, well, that's just in case if you were open to me at least having a weekend off. And that's about it. But I would still work 40 hours. And she said, oh, okay, I'll take a look at it. I'll look at it more in depth. And I told her, I said, I designed it in a way, my mom helped me. We designed it in a way to where it would coincide with my coworkers. So on a Monday, for example, there will always be a minimum of two people in the shop. And on Saturday, there will always be one person in the shop. There will always be, no matter what. So there won't be some shop guy there won't be anyone that's out of the shop on the weekends. I designed it that way to make it a little bit easier for, especially for prepping for, you know, the coming weeks. So, because right now, how it's designed at least, she now has me working Sundays. So I'm going to start working Sunday next week as well. But if she agrees with it, I'm kind of hoping she does because it'd be nice to have the weekends off. Um, I'll be able to have Saturday and Sunday off, which will be nice. And I
Yeah,
think Friday too. I think I'll have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So I'll have 3 days off. I'll work 4 days, three, yeah.
that
So,
sounds good.
but it, it it would be nice. That would be the dream, and it would mean that I am getting exactly what I want, and I think she's open to it. But that's about it in terms of schedule, at least. So
Very good.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Well, we always do miss you on the weekends when you're not there. So
I
it's
know.
it's
I always
always
get bombarded with, well, I
yeah,
get texts all the time and I read them and I always give some sorry
yeah.
monotone response like I can't make it this time
Yeah.
around because I have work. I
Yeah.
always have even if you guys do birthday parties on the weekends, I will always have work no matter what. And there's nothing that I can do about it. It's just unfortunate. And it's not the fact that I can ask ahead and take the day off. It's just the fact that I can't really afford to take a day off because if I take a day off, so many hours of work that I could be doing, it can go down the drain quick, and the whole entire business can starts to just hit it. It starts hitting a domino effect where, okay, if I take a day off, the equipment in the front of the store it eventually just becomes obsolete. There's nothing in the store to restock. Well, what I mean, like empty open slots for equipment and for service kits, that type of stuff
Yeah.
where it's just empty. And then people have to go to the back of the shop to ask, oh, can you build this for me? Not really. I don't want to build it for you, but I kind of have to because, oh well, but just to get you out of here. So,
Yeah.
and will 5 days make a difference? I've worked 5 days before. I've, I've done that before, and it seems to be,
More
it makes
manageable.
a little bit, it makes it a little bit more manageable. There's a little bit of more breathing room. I'm less stressed out if I work 5 days because it means that I'm prepping for the following week and it becomes less stressful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad that I think I'm making the right choice
Yeah.
for
Sounds
now.
like it's
And
panning out well, so that's good.
because I didn't know if she still had that in the cards for me because I remember we talked about it back in December of 2024,
Way back
way back
then.
when.
Yeah, I know. We're in March now. It's crazy.
But I will say I'm not getting complacent. I'm not shifting focus away from what I really want to do as a career. I really do want to do plumbing. I absolutely do. I my heart is focused and set on that. It's just right now I'm willing to wait just a little bit,
Yeah.
just so that way I can, have a little bit of, consistency and a little bit more experience when it comes to like the power equipment and everything. I'm not shifting focus. That was my mom's biggest concern, and I told her that no, it's not. I'm not going to get complacent. I'm not going to stay there forever. It's not happening. I really don't want to stay there, but I'm willing to put up with the childish behavior that is of that workplace so that way I can at least have a just a good track record when applying for my next job.
Yeah.
Because some of the plumbing companies, even though you're applying for an apprenticeship, they're like, "Oh, it's just a guide. You don't actually have to work X amount of years to do it. We just recommend it." Uh, for some of the companies, it's like 3 years minimum. So I'm just gonna do that. I'll have 3.5 years under my belt by then.
Good.
So I think
When did we graduate high school? 22?
2022. That feels like a
Yeah.
lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that felt like forever ago.
I know. It's crazy how time flies.
But hopefully, by doing this, since I'll be working full time, I will be able to hopefully buy a car sometime soon,
Oh
full
yeah.
like paid fully, of course, while at the same time working on my Roth IRA. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. Good. Well, do you want to
So
move on to the first topic?
I think there was something else. I don't remember. I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but that's pretty much what's been happening with me.
That's
And
good.
there's the victory royale. For some reason, it's bugging out right now at the moment. There it is. Okay, I got the victory
Nice.
royale for you. So
Epic.
really, I, uh, I will say in relation to this, transitioning to this real quick, it
Yeah.
was so difficult to actually get good Fortnite gameplay going. It was actually I choked so many times trying to get victory royales for this past week since our last podcast. I struggled so much and it was such a pain in my sciatica. And after getting that victory royale, I felt so good about myself. I'm stroking my own ego and I'm just using filler words, but um I don't know why for this season at least for a Fortnite, it's been so difficult to get a win. I don't know what it is. I just am
It's
I
hard nowadays,
choke.
huh?
Well, here's the thing. I play zero build, and you would think, oh, zero build's easy because you don't have to worry about people building the twin towers and knocking them over or
Yeah.
anything like that. Uh, sorry, bad joke, but you would think, oh, just point and shoot. It's so sweaty. Maybe it's because the new season is out. It everybody's trying to get a victory royale. It was so sweaty. The amount of times that I've placed second for this season, I've lost count. I think it's been like over 10 times. So
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
on
think I
a,
could ever do it.
oh my gosh. Well, I was playing duos with my girlfriend the other day, and oh my goodness, we kept choking and choking. It was so bad. We couldn't get it. I got so mad one night. I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm going to bed. And she's like, you can't get mad. It's just a game. And I said, I know it is just a game.
That's
You're
funny.
right. But gosh dang it. This close. I was on the cusp. I was on the cusp of getting a win. Lost it. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, this new season is interesting because we went from a Japanese theme to straight up the ghetto and the hood. So it,
Whoa.
I it's called Fortnite Lawlessness. So it's about
Weird.
robbing banks and stealing cars and
Huh.
robbing a train. Not stealing cars. It was like an armored vehicle you can rob from,
Yeah.
and it's cool. But oh my gosh, it's so difficult to get a win. It
Fortnite's trying to
is
be
so
GTA.
well, the thing is, uh, it was either play this or play Call of Duty, and COD is in shambles at the moment, as you know.
Yeah.
It's this time of the year where people just for the COD cycle where nobody is satisfied with the current state of the game. and it is just not good. I think like now at least over on the Steam charts, it's lost like what 70% of the player base since the
Oh
launch of
wow.
Black Ops. It's been a disaster. It's been awful. And I mean, I have lost a little bit of interest in Call of Duty for this time around, but I mean, I'm still playing it on occasion just to avoid like the super strict skill-based matchmaking that comes with it. And I don't know why a lot of people still like to defend that system. And I think to myself, yeah, if you're defending it, you're probably not a skilled player at the game.
Yeah.
You probably just, I hate to break it to you, are you playing on a 60-inch screen TV while playing or something
Uh-huh.
like that?
That'd
But
be actually pretty cool.
that's the that's the dad experience, the father of
Yeah,
horse
dude. I
right
want
there.
that. I want my man cave, I want a couch, and I want to play my Xbox on a 4K OLED.
Like 5 millisecond delay. You can feel like the huge input latency. It takes a second in order to turn left and right and up and down. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that. They added the Ninja Turtles into. Oh my goodness, it's crazy loud. Hang on, let me turn down the game volume. I apologize. That should not happen.
Well, we can't hear it on this end, so we're
Okay,
good.
well that's good. At least you can't hear it. But for COD, at least, it's been they added the what is it, the Ninja Turtles into the game now, and they are charging up the. It is crazy how just if you want all four Ninja Turtles in the game, it's $100. They cost $20 a piece, or actually, it's actually $80 if you want all the Ninja Turtles, plus the exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Battle Pass, which is like I think $10 extra. Plus, on top of that, some other content drop that came with it. So
That's
it's like
crazy.
over 100. It's like over $100 if you want all that content. Nope, you got to pay for it. You can't earn it. You can't
Uh,
earn any of it. No, you don't get that luxury. And for some reason, now my Fortnite replays is broken and I lost all the victory royales. So that's
Sag.
okay.
That's all right.
But I will probably load up Call of Duty and see if I have gameplay on here. I don't think I do, but um,
Yeah.
that's about it in terms of Fortnite. So I'll let you transition into
Yeah.
our next topic, of course.
Yeah, the first thing I have is AMD. They launched the graphics card that they had planned to launch, or they had launched two cards. They had planned to launch these like at the beginning of the year, but they heard that Nvidia was going to do their launch, so they waited, I guess. Um, and everybody expected AMD to mess this up because that's what they always do. They always do Nvidia minus $50, which does not place them well in the GPU market. And that's why Nvidia has 90% market share now. Uh, but things could change because uh, these GPUs that they were just released are actually a fairly decent price. As far as I know, these are the top of the line GPUs that AMD is going to offer this time around. Um,
So
and
there's no 9900 XTX or anything like that.
yeah, as far as I know, this is the maximum they're gonna go with. Um,
Interesting.
so they launched the 9070 XT and the 9070. They changed their naming scheme once again, which is fantastic. Like we went from 7700, 7900 XT to 9070. Like that doesn't make any sense, but um, I
Why did
guess
we
they
skip
wanted it to
over
match
the?
with Nvidia a little bit better. I don't know. It still doesn't make that much sense. And they skipped what would be the 8000 series. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't get it. But the big thing is price. The
yeah.
9070 XT, which is essentially the 5070 equivalent, is $600. and the 5070 is 750. So pay a $150 premium for roughly the same performance. That could be pretty big for AMD. Now, $600 to me is still a lot of money, but certainly it's better than the competition. It places them pretty well.
I hate to
So
break it to you, I don't have gameplay
that's okay.
because the game updated and it got rid of all of my files for it. So I need to, you know what I should do? Okay. Sorry, future listeners, but I'm gonna have to start doing pre-recorded gameplays so that way you guys could actually enjoy watching something. I feel so bad, but uh, there's nothing I can do at the moment. But sorry, going back to the AMD
Yeah,
Radeon, yeah, their naming is a little bit.
it's too wishy-washy, and this is
It,
what, like their fifth naming scheme or something. It's no good. I mean, the best thing about Nvidia is their naming is fairly consistent. Um, of course, they used to have. I don't know. It's still complicated. They still have TI. They still have Super. They still have regular, and now they have TI Super also. So it's like, what does any of this mean? I have no idea. And they used to have, what was the, oh, Titan. They used to have Titan. Like, what is that? I don't know. Um, so, of course, neither company is very great at naming. And that's always been one of my gripes with the, I don't know, tech parts space, hardware. Um,
yeah,
but it's still good that $600 less, it's $150 less than the Nvidia card. Hopefully like, I don't think any of these cards have shipped to anybody
it's
yet.
$150 less.
600 versus 750?
Yeah,
Yeah,
150.
150. Yeah.
I mean,
Um
I think that's good for in order to compete with Nvidia, especially. It seems to me, at least, a lot of people are actually satisfied with the price drop, but
right.
with the price difference. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of people are happy that AMD decided not to, woo everybody with the whole AI upscaling technology or something like that, and its actual raw performance in comparison to the 5070. I think I
Yeah.
may be wrong, but
I'm trying to find the 9070
I
because
I
they
I
talked about
think
it in this one
it's
too.
I think it's raw performance. I think, and it's not with any upscaling methods, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they call it raster performance, rasterized performance.
Rasterization or something like that.
Yeah. Um, Raw performance, I think, is typically AMD's strong suit. And when it gets to the more software heavy or ray tracing heavy things,
That's
that's where
usually
NVIDIA way overtakes them. Um, I can't find the pricing for
well, I
the.
think what's interesting is this time around, it seems like they prepared for the whole entire like scalping, which was
Well,
inevitable to begin with. I don't know. I
only
may be wrong.
because they had planned to launch these GPUs way earlier, and like all the
It's
stores I've
widely
heard have
available.
stock. Like they have stock of all of these. They just haven't released them yet because they've been told not to.
Yeah.
So like they've had of several months. I don't know if it was the end of last year or the beginning of this year. Either way, they've had a few months to, pump out some of these cards. That's been one of the major problems with the 50 series
I
graphics
wonder
cards
how
from
this.
Nvidia is stock.
Well, this. A lot of people actually like this card, especially over the Nvidia cards this time around, because of what was it, the PCIe slots or whatever it was, the to plug into the graphics card to
The
give it
power
power.
cable? Yeah,
Yeah, the power cable. So
power
it's not
ports.
frying. It's not frying the graphics card or the cord
Yeah.
this time around. So
Yeah. The rumor is that these do not standard 8
they're
pin
just
power connectors. Yeah, they
they're
don't
just
explode when you plug them in.
yeah. Standard 8-pin power connector, a selling point.
Yeah, I know,
Doesn't
right?
explode.
Um, yeah. Anyway, the nine, what is it? 9070, not the 9070 non XT is just $50 less than the 9070. So they are releasing two cards. Uh, so the 9070 is $50 cheaper than the
Yeah,
9070 XT. I can't find it on here for some reason, which is bugging the heck out of me, but that's all right.
that's all right. I
Um,
wonder how it stacks up against my 7900 XTX.
it is so this group of cards is supposed to slot between the 7900 GRE, which is like um I don't know what the Nvidia equivalent is, but it's kind of a dumbed down 7900 XT. So they're supposed to fit between the 7900 GRE and the 7900 and 7900 XT. So it's sort of like a mid-range um, last gen.
Oh, well, if you look here, if you tune to my screen.
Yeah. Um,
So GRE, which is interesting because I've never heard of this before. Is this supposed to be like some type of laptop graphics card or something like
no,
that? Or,
it's a full desktop GPU, but it's I think it's just a less powerful seven. I think it was a Chinese market one, maybe
oh, I
initially, and
see.
then they brought it over to the
There's no
US.
there's no listing here.
It
Like
was
it doesn't
cheaper
tell you
too. Let me see if
okay.
I can find it on Newegg
Well,
or
I will
something.
say my card apparently outperforms it by 32%. So
Yeah.
if you're telling me it's supposed to be in between the if it's supposed to have like similar performance to the GRE and also what is it, the 5080 or something like that? I really don't see a need to upgrade, if I'm being honest with
Basically,
you. I
I don't
really
know.
don't.
5070. Yeah, you're not going to need to upgrade because these are less powerful cards. They do have the advantage of like FSR 4 and some better ray
I
tracing.
isn't FSR 4 supposed to isn't it supposed to be available for all AMD users and including Nvidia? I thought that was supposed to be like
I'm
the
not 100% sure.
because FSR 3 is available on Nvidia graphics cards. I know that. And it's also available on older AMD GPUs, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, if you look at my
It's
screen, I've got
maybe
a
it's a bubble.
7900 GRE and it's $570, which is inexpensive
Yeah.
for, you know, for the power that you're getting. 16 gigs of GDDR6.
A bit a lot better in my PC, I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah. But it's
Hey,
less
I
powerful than a 7900 XT,
yeah.
which is what I have. Um,
Well, I forgot you have a 7900 XTX
you have the
or X.
XTX. I just have the XT.
Yeah.
Uh, I wonder how much. I don't know how much VRAM my GPU has. I should look. Um, do 20. Okay, so it has like 4 GB less of VRAM, which is pretty significant.
So what's another thing that's interesting is I don't know if user benchmark is accurate when it comes to this in terms of the results, but I was told that the 7900 XTX outperforms like the RTX 5080 and the 5080 Ti in some areas. But
I
that does
wouldn't
not look
expect
like
that,
it at
but
all. Nice to haves, 17%.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm hearing a discrepancy in regards to this in terms of like the price for performance.
yeah.
But
Um,
I think this has less VRAM than the actual XTX, if I'm not mistaken.
the XTX has what 24 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah, it's 24, and doesn't this have like 12? I may be
The
wrong.
5080.
12 or 16, I don't
I think
know.
it has 16.
see, RTX 5080.
5080 VRAM.
It's 8 GB. Oh, 16.
Imagine 16. So that's the same as the GRE. The GRE has 16 gigs of VRAM. The XT has 20, and the XTX has 24.
5090, a $2,000 grab, 69%.
Yeah,
Good
that's big.
lord.
Check that out.
Jeez. Gosh. I'm all right. I don't need that. I'm not paying 2 grand for that.
Well, I've heard you're gonna end up paying around 3 grand for it between
Well, because
taxes and scalpers
you
and
gotta take
stuff.
a you gotta take a loan out for this stuff, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You
it's
shouldn't
pretty
take a
crazy
loan
what
out
you have
on
to
this.
pay for this PC shenanigans nowadays, you know. But
That's no, they're out of touch. They're out of touch with everything. I'm just gonna
that's the
say
good
that.
thing about these AMD cards. They're relatively cheap, and as far as I know, this is the high end. Like this is the most expensive of the
Hmm.
cards that they're going to release. 550. Honestly, I think that the non XT should be $100 cheaper than the
Yeah,
XT. So it should be 500 even instead of 550. Because really, what like there's not enough separation between the two prices for you know why would you buy the non XT? Just doesn't make any sense. I imagine I imagine the only reason you would buy it, is if the XT is sold out.
yeah,
Um, the
yeah.
the
I'm good.
value
I
is
ain't
just not
paying.
there as much with the
I'm not.
non XT.
I'm not paying 2 grand for 59. That's crazy. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah,
Nope, not happening.
it's pretty crazy. Um,
It's not worth it. It's just not. And then what, the 4090 at least, it's still crazy expensive too, right? It's still what, around
oh yeah,
1500 to 1800 bucks
you'll
or
still
something like
pay
that.
for the 4090 what it was back when it released, which is insane. Normally things go down, especially PC hardware.
Nah, no, not this day and age.
Yeah,
It just goes up.
that
That's
card
it.
is keeping its value or rising in price. It's crazy to see. Well, and people can't get their hands on 5090s, so they're just going to buy a
It's
4090.
a bad market. I'm just gonna say that. It's a really bad market.
Yeah. Which is why it's extra good for AMD to release these cards into that bad market. Because
I
these
know.
are
I
like
do.
actually good deals.
Well, do you remember what was it? Shortly after AMD revealed their graphics cards, I think Intel came out with something
Oh, yeah.
similar in of, what was it, a 12 gig VRAM graphics card or something like
They
that, and it was
have, I think they released two more cards uh, earlier this year or at the end of last year. And they're a good value at their
and it was good
MSRP.
performance. It
Yeah,
was
they're
good price for performance, from what I know.
yeah. The biggest problem is stock is non-existent, and the stock that does exist is selling for above MSRP. So if you can
Yeah,
get them at MSRP, they're a good value card. But yeah, I think this is going to be the same way. If you can get them for MSRP, it's going to be a good value card. Um, and it'll probably get you through, a few years of modern AAA titles.
no, this stuff won't even get you through a few years of modern AAA titles. As soon as they start optimizing the modern AAA titles,
Yeah, I
then
know.
it'll be worth it. These cards are not worth for the new stuff. I'm just gonna say that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be optimized. I'm
Ooh, you
almost
just made
it's
me
not.
think of one thing. They are not, AMD is not making any in-house cards. They're outsourcing all of them to like, what is it, Sapphire and, no, it's not Sapphire. That's the name of
XFX.
yeah, XFX, whatever. Yeah.
That's what my card is branded. From what I know, mine is one of the lower performing 7900
Uh,
XTXs, I guess, from what I know, because of.
Whatever.
But I honestly don't care. It's powerful. It's good for me, at
Yeah.
least. I get max frame rate in basically everything now at this point. I don't care. So,
To me, it never
um,
inspires confidence when a company doesn't make any of its own designs.
I wish that, what was it? My gosh, what was that card company called that worked with NVIDIA?
Oh,
Oh my goodness,
EVGA?
I had a EVGA. It was
Was it
so good.
EVGA?
I thought their graphics cards that they made were really good
Yeah,
because that my RTX 2070 was an
EVGA.
EVGA graphics card. It was so nice. It was a great card. I
Yeah.
loved it. But
My 1660 is a Zotac, and I thought it was an EVGA, but it's just a Zotac.
I don't know what happened with that company at least, but I think they just stopped working with Nvidia or
Yeah,
something like that because Nvidia was making too many demands and I
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what
It
happened,
was
but
back when Nvidia was being extra toxic, and I think they had had enough of it.
they still are toxic with the prices that they have and they act
Yeah.
like they're being generous this time around with they're not.
Right.
It's not good at
Between all
all.
the power cables melting and the fake generosity and the insane prices, it just doesn't make any sense to buy a new Nvidia card, I feel like. Well, and I don't think they've even released a 60
Lack of
class card.
respect from NVIDIA's side and issues related to how NVIDIA restricts prices on some cards and refuses to reveal basic pre-launch information about its PC graphics cards to partners.
Yeah. Yeah, graphics cards is, it's always a
They
tough
were
market.
so good. They were so good when it came to the graphics card market. I'll just say that. Their style for the cards, it was great. I loved what they had to offer for their cards, but gosh dang it. You know what they should do? They should just sign on with Radeon and with AMD.
Yeah.
They should. They should just do that. And
This
oh
was
my gosh,
22. Yeah,
they would
it's been
wipe the
3
floor
years
with
since they did
everybody.
that.
I'd buy I look, if they partnered with EVGA, I'd buy a graphics card from them. I would.
Yeah.
If I could, I would. But if they ever did that, I definitely would buy a graphics card from them.
Rip.
It'd be nice if they did that. But
Yeah.
strong ties with Nvidia and Intel
Well, shall we move on to the next thing I have?
makes me so sad. Wish we had that.
I've got
Yeah,
one more
what you
cool
got in
tech thing.
store for us?
I have this framework. They released more products,
Yeah,
believe it or
what's this
not.
supposed to be?
This is a mini PC. It's a mini desktop. And it
Oh, do
uses
you have
that.
this?
Say what?
You have this?
No, I don't have this.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
I
They
thought you still
they're
got it.
pre-order still.
Oh, okay.
Look at how small it is though. Like they're showing all these things next to it. And it's bitty.
It's very bitty, very bitty.
It has
LaCroix.
the AMD all-in-one chip that is really good. It's like the CPU and the GPU with CPU with integrated graphics, and the integrated graphics are basically they're better than laptop discrete GPUs.
Hmm.
So they're really good. But that's really cool. The front end is customizable. You can slot in the what do you call them? Cartridges. What do they call them? Da, 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 da. Expansion cards. Yeah. Um, they released a new 13. They updated the keyboard for the 16, and they also released a 12-inch laptop, which I think is pretty cool. This one has a plastic chassis and It's less powerful, but it has basically it's supposed to be a budget laptop. It has a touchscreen and it comes
That's
with a stylus.
yeah, the bezels look fat on that.
Yeah.
Is
If
that
this is going to be like $600, this is going to be the best $600 laptop. And it like if it's anywhere under $1,000, this is going to be the best sub $1,000 laptop, I think, because um they're super flexible, in the way you can use them. Like I
can you
really
customize
like.
that or no?
Hmm?
Are you able to customize that one at all or no?
Yeah, I think it's gonna have the customizable I/O like this, like the normal framework does. Let's see. We've been asking for touchscreen on the basic framework 13 for since it came out, since the 13 came out.
Yeah,
Um,
because one of the look, I like what they have going here, of course, but I think the biggest thing that's confusing to me
yeah,
is like, okay, which laptops are customizable and upgradable and which ones aren't?
right.
Because you told me that you can't put, if I'm not mistaken, you can't put a graphics card into a Framework 13 laptop, right?
Yes,
Okay, but you can for the Framework 16, right?
right. This
Okay.
one, so the 16 is designed with a discrete GPU
Mm-hmm.
in mind. So it has at the back a an expansion slot where you can put the uh, discrete GPU, and it also has the pieces on the keyboard side where you can move your keyboard around and move the trackpad. You can set the trackpad off to one side or the other.
And
Um,
yours doesn't have that. Yours is a
mine,
set.
yes, mine is set. The benefit to mine is it's smaller. It's a slim, notebook sort of form factor. It's more like a business laptop, which is what I really needed. I didn't need a gaming laptop. And also it's cheaper. That's another thing.
Hmm.
You still obviously get integrated graphics with the 13, which is good. Um, the
You can get
benefit
a
of
2.8K display with it.
say again?
You, you can get a hundred. Here, let me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of the options. This is the 7040 series. I don't know if you have this one, but
Uh, 7040. No, I have. Okay, so that's the type of CPU.
okay. Yeah, but
Um,
look at this. If
I have a 12th gen Intel in mine.
you can have a 120 hertz 2.8K matte display.
Yes. I can actually upgrade my screen to that. I can buy that display individually and I can upgrade that. So the 13 still has upgradability and benefits. Like if I wanted to swap the main board, I could. I could upgrade from a 12th gen Intel to a 7040 series AMD or AI whatever they call it now, AI 300 series. Um I don't I don't see any point in doing that yet because I still think my 12th gen Intel is a really solid chip and it's
Yeah.
a like I see it as the best Intel has made.
Are
Period.
you're able to upgrade your CPU on that or no?
I can take out the whole main board and swap
Hmm.
it for another main board that has a different CPU on it.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
really nice. Did you do a DIY or a pre-built?
I did a DIY.
I see.
The DIY is, as far as I know, it's more expensive for the same specs, which kind of stinks.
Pre-built for some
But
reason starting at okay.
it seems
Interesting.
like so from on the surface, it seems like the DIY is cheaper. But when you
It
go
looks
out and
like it, yeah.
actually do exactly the same system, it's more expensive to DIY. But I prefer the DIY edition because I was able to make this exactly the way I want, which is not something you can do with other laptop companies.
Yeah, because I'm noticing here for the regular pre-built, you can't pick a
Right.
120 hertz display. You have to go into DIY
Yeah.
in order to. I see. Okay.
And to be fair, like there's not that much DIYing that you're doing with the DIY version. Really, you just install the RAM and reinstall the keyboard. I don't think you actually do anything else. Maybe you do a Wi-Fi card. I'm not sure. Um, but it's not that big of a deal to do the DIY version.
12
Uh,
core, 24 thread, up to 5.1 gigahertz.
yeah. So this has a 12 core in it, but it's an Intel 12 core, so that means it's like four performance cores and eight efficiency cores. But it's way more than powerful enough to do anything that I've needed it to do, and I've done a lot of intensive CPU tasks on my laptop. So it hasn't been too slow for me yet. The biggest problem is, of course, the integrated graphics are a little slow. You know, they're not the most. It's not the most capable graphically. Um, graphically, that was a weird way of saying that. Graphically, um, it has worked really well as a workstation and an on-the-go laptop for me. So
What's the
I'm pretty
total?
happy
Oh
with
my
it.
gosh, two.
The price goes up pretty quick. That's this was $1,400. This was
Yeah,
$1,400. Plus
the way you custom.
I spent
Well,
extra money on the cartridges, the expansion cards.
this is the new version of it with an AMD Ryzen
Yeah.
CPU. So
That's the
I kind
brand
of
new one that's on pre-order,
that's
yeah.
the yeah. So I kind of expected that.
Yeah,
Makes me
but
wonder. Okay, I I might as well at that rate if I'm paying such a high price for it. Wouldn't I just do a MacBook or no? No, you would get more value out of this than a MacBook, I would think. Or right? Or I may
it
be
kind of
wrong.
depends on what you want out of your system.
I guess, yeah.
If you want seamlessness and Mac OS, then that's what you should go with. I need for computer science, realistically, a Windows machine,
Hmm.
because there are so many programs that can't run on Mac OS.
Overkill. $2,000.
Yeah.
Jeez. Performance Pro overkill. Jeez.
Honestly, I really like the metal chassis that's on this thing. It's aluminum and it feels really premium. I don't know if you've
It's
ever.
like a Mac, I think, no?
Yeah, well, and I like that. I like, people look at it and they're like, "Is that a Mac?" And I'm like, "No, it's a framework." And they're like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then I show them the expansion cards and they're like, "Whoa, that's cool." And then I tell them about, like, I show them that you can remove the bezel and it's just magnetic and they're like, "No way." And then I I
You
tell them
can
you
put
can upgrade the main board. It's pretty
you
cool.
can put a 700 or sorry, a 77 English Nelson
7700S.
7700S
Yeah.
graphics card.
Yeah. Um
Expansion bay shell?
yeah, that's
Interesting.
just a shell if you want to remove the graphics card.
Okay. Which I don't know why you would want to, but
Makes it
okay.
lighter and it's less power intensive, so your battery lasts
Input
longer.
modules. Oh, that's cool. Oh my goodness. You can.
You can get a macro pad as well. Like that
Ooh,
laptop is really cool.
a
That's
macro
like,
pad.
yeah, did you see that? It's a RGB macro pad.
I see. I like the numpad. That's
Yeah.
nice.
This doesn't have a
USB
numpad.
into the
That's kind of a gripe, but what do you expect from a small laptop?
expansion cards, of course. Six USB Cs. Gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Storage expansion cards. You can add up to six.
The thing is, with this laptop, I feel like an absolute beast because I have literally every I/O in my backpack. I have DisplayPort, I have HDMI, I have micro SD, I have SD, I have 1 terabyte of storage. I have I have everything, and it's just I think it's really cool, and that's the kind of thing you get with a laptop like this. Now, if you're getting a MacBook, Um,
Oh my gosh, Pro all out.
they are really powerful machines nowadays, and their CPUs blow everything else out of the water. The biggest problem with them is storage and
Well, they do a, what do you call it? A price scaling. So if you
yeah,
want more storage, you got to pay up, kiddo.
yeah. And then
That's what you have to do.
you might as well go up from the Air to the Pro because you're already spending $2,000, and then you end up with the Pro and you got to spend an extra $300 for the extra storage and the extra memory. So, I mean, the best thing is that they've set their minimum memory
So you get up
to
to 2 terabyte storage.
16 gigs now.
How much is this? $1,600.
Yeah.
You get a 10 core CPU, a 10 core GPU, 32 gigabytes unified memory, 2 terabyte storage, 24 hours battery life, Touch ID.
Yeah.
That seems fine to me. That already suits pretty much almost all of my needs,
This has Touch
I would
ID as
say.
well. Fingerprint reader, which is
I
good.
should just go to Costco and look and see at if I
Yeah,
was interested in this type.
they have good prices on Macs at Costco.
So they have a MacBook Pro 14-inch, M4 Pro or M4 Max. Okay, which one's the M4 Max then? Oh, they have a 14-inch, a 16-inch. What's the display? Is it 120 hertz? Because I really don't like 60.
I don't know. It might
Uh,
be on a MacBook Pro, maybe.
I think MacBook Pro does the 120 hertz, not Air. I do know MacBook Air doesn't do that. MacBook Air is mostly targeted
Liquid
towards
Retina
phones because
display
they don't have
features
money.
1600 nits peak brightness. It doesn't say. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it ought to because I remember I went to Costco and I was looking at some of their Macs and
Yeah.
it did mention 120 hertz display. You could, when you moved your finger across the touchpad, you could feel that it was 120 hertz. You
Yeah.
could see it on the screen. You can recognize it.
Right.
Touch specs.
The difference between this and a MacBook is flexibility. This is one of the most flexible devices that I've ever owned, and a MacBook I think is the exact opposite.
$1,000. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this is interesting because why when I was looking at when I was comparing it, it said $1,500. You get 2 terabytes with it. Where's the other 2 terabytes now? They took it away. What the heck?
Yeah.
Display.
Macs
Fixed
are
refresh
a
rates.
painful to price out nowadays. But I mean, you could just go with an M1 Mac and you'll still get a really solid experience because they are really powerful. In fact, I recommended your dad an M2 Mac. He got a MacBook Pro
Okay, here it is, I think.
and he loves it.
MacBook Pro 14-inch. Am I stupid? Oh, up to. That's the thing. It's
Up
up to. I gotta read the
to.
fine print, Nelson. Good Lord.
Yes, of course, of course.
Because they gotta
I
mark
think you
it
can unlock
everything.
them with your Apple Watch too. So you don't even need to use Touch ID. You just,
Yeah, and the Apple Watches are now like what, $1,000 or something like that. You're
yeah,
out of your
they're
mind.
pretty
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Kind of going back to this though, I think this is
Do I need
cool.
a MacBook? Absolutely not. There's no need for one.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a need.
Let's see
I got
what
my
you can
phone.
do with this one.
This is fine. But
Okay, so they have I guess they only have one processor here. Holy moly.
MacBook
Okay,
Pro.
so on this little mini PC from Framework, they have the Max Plus, which is the AMD CPU. Um, and it has 128 gigs of memory. Of memory. So, and I think it can use all of that
Of
as
RAM
VRAM.
or
Yeah. RAM.
Can use it as VRAM
It can
too?
use all 128 gigs of that as VRAM, as far as I know.
How does that work?
I have no idea. I think it might be limited with Windows, but I think in Linux it can use all of it. Um,
Come here. Come here. I know you got to go outside. Sorry.
16 core CPU, up to 5.1 gigahertz, which is really good in and of itself. Um, 40 GPU cores. So let's pick that one. This is the max level one. I would probably, I mean, it's kind of painful to choose anything less than the max level one because I think you lose GPU cores, don't you? Oh, well, I don't know, maybe we'll start with the pricing out the max level one. That's already taking us up to $2,000 and we haven't even selected anything else yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, you go to the M4 Pro 14 inch. It's already $2,000.
Yeah.
So you get a 12 core CPU, 16 core GPU, 24 gigs of unified memory. 512? Really? That's the best you can do for this price point? Are you serious? What do you get with the max? Only a terabyte. That's so no. What about the 16? That's so cheap. Oh my gosh, cheap as in like the scummy of them, not actually in terms of price.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's unfortunate.
one
That's
terabyte of
really
storage
unfortunate.
on this thing, and the max level CPU, and Windows 11 Pro, a Noctua cooler, the power cable, side panel, and front panel, is $2,400, which is insane. But you can see that uh, they've sold they've this is insane. So they're shipping these in batches. They're shipping these framework things in batches. Um, and they've already had pre-orders for 7 batches of each tier.
And this is like as tall as my iPhone, right?
The Mac, oh, or this,
No, the framework.
it's really small. I don't
Small.
know
Now leave me alone.
exactly, but it's small. The reason they I think they're selling so many of these is because these are like LLM workhorses, language model workhorses for um, AI stuff because they have like 128 gigs of memory that can be used all by your GPU. That is that's big. That's a lot of memory. So you can run language models and other AI models on this thing, and that's why they thought they would sell so well. In fact, um, actually, they
Do you remember the Mac Pro? If you add all
oh
the
my
options
gosh,
to it, it adds
jeez
up to
Gray,
like 60 grand or something.
yeah, that is absolutely insane. This is less insane, but it's still pretty crazy. Twenty four hundred
I
dollars
know,
for a wee little
but I'd
thing.
rather pay 20. Yeah, but granted, my PC was probably around that price point, to be fair.
Yeah,
It's probably a little bit under 2 grand, I think.
yeah. Um, this website.
$7,000. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
for the Mac Pro.
that's insanity.
For the good Lord. Okay, we want the M2 Ultra. You don't even get like the newest one. You don't even
No,
get the
you don't
newest
even
chip.
get the M4.
We want 192 gigabytes of unified memory. We want
Yes,
8 terabyte SSD storage.
of
We
course.
also want a stainless steel frame, $400 with wheels. With wheels. Wheels are $400. Good Lord. We also want the Magic Mouse plus the Magic Trackpad.
Uh-huh.
We also want, oh, we'll stick to US. We want Final Cut Pro. We
Uh-huh.
want Logic Pro. Oh, I thought there was
Okay,
more
how
to
much
it
is
than
it?
that.
How much is it? twelve
No,
thousand dollars. Holy
this isn't
cow!
it. No, 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 no. That's not it. Because I remember it used to be like $50,000. It
Well, twelve
used to
thousand
be.
dollars is still absolute insanity for not the
I
most
know.
powerful.
I
Just buy a
could have.
Mac Mini. Like Mac Minis are so cheap now. Check out the Mac Mini. Check out the Mac Mini. Check out the Mac
No, no, no. We got to figure this out real quick
Mini.
because I know for a fact that I know for a fact that one of these added up to like 50 grand.
um, just as a little side note, the day that Linus did a video on this framework whole thing, right? And the day that they announced these and he did the video on it, the website
Oh,
was
here it is.
basically
Here it is.
DDoS because they had so much traffic coming to their website and they couldn't handle all the traffic. So it's pretty crazy to see that. I've never seen something like that before on a website like this.
We're at $20,000,
What?
as much as a
Why?
car.
Well, that's because you
Add
added
more
the
below.
studio display.
Well, if you want to max out, of course, why wouldn't
Oh,
you?
not the studio,
Oh,
just the
we
pro.
also. Oh, apparently Apple Care is not available. We're too poor
Oh,
for Apple Care.
what a shame.
Oh,
Pro display
499
XDR.
add. We want. We also want this. Add that to bag. We also want this to our bag.
Yeah,
Uh, Studio display. Wait, I think this is just no. These
this
are
is
just
just extra
accessories.
junk. Yeah.
Review bag. Let's see how much we're at. We are at $23,000.
Yeah, no. Not gonna happen. This is much more reasonable.
Buy a car with that.
I want to price out the one that I would probably buy. Uh,
You could buy a car with that, Logan.
let's see. I probably do two of these and one of these, maybe.
$12,000. Good lord.
$2,000 is probably about the one that I would buy because you don't want to sacrifice any of the GPU cores. That's the biggest thing. And also, you only get an 8-core CPU, so yeah. This is I think this thing's really cool. I think this could be a solid like mini PC for somebody and it's super expensive, but it's a beast of a machine and
That's a good
it's
pre-built.
surprisingly small and customizable. So I think that uh
Would you ever get that or no?
there's no reason for me to cuz I have the framework laptop and
Yeah.
it's while it's not nearly as powerful as this, um I don't I don't need that much power. And honestly, I think I would just add like the biggest problem with my laptop is the GPU power. And I think that that could easily be solved by the eGPU that I was talking about last week. I think that would be
Oh, I see
a
here. So
solid.
you actually have to click on the product in order to upgrade it.
Oh yeah,
Customize
Mac
your
Mini,
Mac.
yeah. This is so these are actually a solid price.
Starting at $1,400. Okay.
What?
So, well, this is the
That's not
Mac
right.
Mini Pro. No, 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 no. Hang on.
No,
Hold
you
up.
gotta go regular
Wait a
Mac
sec.
Mini. Mac Mini.
Hold the phone. Wait a minute.
They start at
Hold the phone.
600 bucks.
You go to buy $600.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one's actually pretty good. 16 gigs of memory. The storage is a little small, but you just add it.
Yeah, yeah, it's not that good.
Just come to Framework.
$800.
Check
I
this out.
know. Why not? Just go to Framework for this stuff.
Just go to
If you're,
Framework, get
oh, I'm already. See, this is another thing where they scaled the pricing. Oh, even if I upgrade it, I'm at fourteen hundred
what?
dollars. Well, I might as well just buy the $1,400 one. Oh, but I get less storage. Oh, but if I, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
See this?
that's
Okay, just so you get the base Mac Mini with the what is it? Is it 256 gigs of storage?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm too busy looking at my MacBook Pro. I kind of want one, but
A
I shouldn't
MacBook
have it.
Pro?
Yeah, but I was looking at one for college, and then I'm
I
not
was
going to
thinking,
college, so I don't see a need for it yet.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's always nice to have a
A good
laptop that
laptop.
you can just pull out quickly and get work done on. Okay, the base
All
one
chips. Okay.
has
600 bucks,
256.
10 core CPU, 10 core
Yeah.
GPU, 16 gigs of unified memory.
The processor in that thing is a beast, first of all.
That's a
Um,
beast.
yes. The 16 gigs of memory is fine. That's where they should have been years ago. Um, honestly, I spec'd my framework with 32, and I'm really happy I did because I've had a lot of instances where I really needed 32 gigs of memory in computer science. That was a RAM leak that I had in one of my programs, so that was
Well,
fun.
my current PC I think has 32 gigs of
Yeah,
VRAM. So, or not VRAM. Good lord,
the
I don't have
system
that
RAM,
much
system
VRAM.
memory.
System RAM.
Yeah. So you go there, you get the $600 Mac Mini.
It's carbon neutral though, Logan. So already this is
Okay,
better than whatever framework has. It's carbon neutral.
so
All right,
they have
isn't that great?
it's a $200 premium for a 250 or no, for a storage upgrade, right? Is that what I'm seeing here?
What's the difference between 16 core 2 prime? Oh, the unified memory.
Yeah.
I see.
So you get more
So
memory with the max one, but I would say get the base level one and then come over here to Framework's site and get this expansion card that's 1 terabyte and just use that.
and plug it into the Mac Mini.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's not a bad
125
idea.
bucks, and you'd spend $200 for half the storage in in the next level Mac Mini. So I don't know. That's kind of cool. Frameworks go in the right direction. I think they're keeping
No,
up.
they absolutely are. I would say they definitely are. That's not sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
excited to see what these laptops look like. I think the desktop is really cool. I think it's probably like if I had to buy a desktop PC right now, it would be this. But I'm not. I don't need to buy a desktop PC. Maybe I'm just a framework fanatic or something.
let me go
Probably
with
am.
the minimum. Let me go with the minimum. You
The
can get
minimum
a
spec.
nano texture. What's nano texture? Can you explain that to me?
It just disseminates light and prevents glare. But their standard display has an anti-glare coating anyway, so I don't understand why you would get the nano texture. Unless you're bougie.
Okay, 2 terabytes,
Why do you need that much storage?
1 terabyte,
Yeah.
which you pretty much need, and that's about it. But two,
512, you could go 512 and get the framework thing.
that's true. Yeah, you could.
It'd be $75 cheaper.
Yeah, but you don't want that ugly thing sticking out of the
Yeah, that's fair.
USB-C power adapter. Like what? It
96 watt.
charges faster for you, or what? What's
Yeah,
the deal with that?
yeah, it charges faster.
Oh my gosh, my Final Cut Pro. I need that.
1,600 bucks. Yeah, if you look at like
Which display is right for you?
if you look at like
It's
an
ridiculous.
M1 Mac or an M2, those are still really solid devices. They're not nearly as powerful as the current ones, but they are super good. Um,
How do I just show me all the mods? Good grief.
either way,
Compare.
I think we better scoot a little bit here, if you don't, if you're okay with that.
Oh yeah, my bad. Because
We
we're
no,
having
you're good. We have a lot of fun with with PC
we're
stuff.
having we're having too much fun here, apparently.
Uh, the next thing I have, and this is the last thing before politics that I have, unless you have anything to talk about besides.
No, I got nothing.
Okay. The Minecraft movie trailer came out. The last one. and I'm just gonna play it in the background and talk about it because I just watched this before the podcast started.
This looks awful.
It
I'm
looks so
sorry.
bad. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. Why does it look so bad? Why does it look so awful? I don't I don't even know what to say.
I really do think that they should have taken the whole entire 3D animation route instead of doing CGI.
Yes. I think everybody agrees with that.
This looks AI generated.
It
I'm sorry.
does.
This looks AI generated. This whole movie with the lighting and everything that's going on, and I'm sure that the people who were making it worked
Yeah.
their duff off. This just your movie would be so much better if you didn't actually try to do like the CGI realistic animation.
I
This
think
looks awful.
I
I'm
think this
sorry.
could be
Doesn't look good.
saved. This movie could be saved if it's absolutely hilarious and it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Or it
It doesn't
knows that
look
it
like
looks
it's trying to.
terrible.
Well,
Cuz
you can tell if you pay attention to the hair strands, you can tell that they're in a studio with like the giant lighting shafts that they have going on.
yeah. Uh
I don't like it. I really think that they should have taken the whole 3D animation route instead of
yeah. Well, I mean,
this.
I
This
think every 3D animated thing that they have here looks terrible.
it doesn't look good. It
No.
doesn't look it looks like Minecraft, but it kind of, not
It
really.
looks like Minecraft if you put it through an AI or a Google Translate 20
This looks
times. It just doesn't look right.
I don't like it.
Uh, and then at the end, they have
That is horrifying.
yeah, that's no good.
That is horrifying. That is no. A Minecraft movie.
I
You
don't
know,
like how they call it a Minecraft movie either.
Notch actually likes this. Apparently, he's fine with it.
See, what he's in the real world. Like
What is
what is the
this?
plot of this movie?
It's disgusting. That's not good looking
It
at
looks
all, brother.
terrible. Yeah, I'm not excited at all for this movie. I'm more excited for Marvel this year than I am for the Minecraft
And
movie.
they need to bring back Minecraft story mode. I'm sorry. Get a hold of Telltale Games again, because Telltale Games is back finally. You know, their studio got revived, of course. Their what was it that they were working on? Some other uh video game that they were making. I forgot what it was, but
Yeah.
they no longer have the rights to produce or manufacture or whatever it is, distribute copies of Minecraft Story Mode. We need a Minecraft Story Mode season 3 or something like that. I want them to go back to doing a Minecraft Story Mode. I would love that. But
Yeah. Uh
everybody now decides to go back to Minecraft Story Mode after that trailer released for that what do you call it? For that, oh my gosh, what's it called? Teaser trailer
yeah.
for they went back and they're like, everybody apologize to Minecraft Story Mode now.
I know. Yeah.
It was good. What they had going was great. I thought
I
they
know.
were able
Well,
to,
back in the
and
day it was kind of
that
cringe,
was
but now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, this was good. This was
that was the
way better than what we
Minecraft
have now.
movie. That was it. That
Yeah.
was good. I'm a sucker. I own Minecraft Story Mode for the Nintendo Switch and Season 2 for the Switch, so I'm good. I got all the stuff, so I can replay. This is why game preservation is so important now.
Yeah.
You can't get that on anything else because the license to distribute the copies is no longer available.
Yeah.
So, and it's you got to pay a hefty price if you want to play Minecraft Story Mode. You have to. It's like $150 minimum if you want all the content and everything.
Ah. I should have brought this up because this also came out. The you saw this right? The Shrek teaser.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing mixed things about this. It
Yeah.
looks fine to me. I don't know why people are saying, "Oh, he doesn't look like Shrek." He looks
I mean, it
it
does
looks
look
fine.
different,
It's a
but
little off-putting, but it reminds me of the same animation that Puss in Boots had.
yeah. Um,
I
I'm
remember
not
everybody.
scared. It,
What
it
was it? Everybody at the end of at the end of Puss in Boots when he was like, "Oh, we're gonna go see some old friends," and they show
Yeah,
Far Far Away. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're
yeah,
bringing them back!"
I know. It was pretty cool. Uh, I think it could be a funny movie. I mean, it's Shrek. What are you gonna do? You gotta go watch it. It's Shrek,
Shrek
and
and
I don't
Ring.
think I've ever watched a Shrek movie in a theater. I don't think I have.
We weren't even alive for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool to see a Shrek movie in theaters. That'd be cool.
It'd be nice. I'm open to it. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it doesn't look like Donkey. Oh, Shrek looks kind of
Yeah,
weird."
I know they
Yeah,
do look a little strange, but it's like that's just because we
I'm
we're kind of
I'm
used
open.
to.
It looks fine. I don't have any. I really. It looks fine. I don't see any issue with it, to be honest. I actually don't. Maybe Donkey looks a little weird, but
Yeah, Elizabeth's like, dude, they got their influencer daughter out here now. Her Instagram model daughter. Yeah, that's kind of true. And yeah, Donkey does look kind of yeah, but that's okay. I think it could be a fun movie. And
yeah.
I'm
But
not afraid.
did we
Like,
need a sequel? I don't think we did, but
yeah,
it's nice to see him return, I guess.
yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how to feel about sequels anymore because everything's a sequel
Well,
nowadays.
if this is the same studio team, and I mean studio team that worked on Puss in Boots, I have full confidence in them. I know DreamWorks Animation has had some hits and misses as of
It
late,
always has. Yeah, it's always been
but
hits and misses. Yeah.
if this is the same like studio made up of the same group of people that made Puss in Boots, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I
Cuz
think they'll
Puss in
do just
Boots: The Last Wish was an absolute banger.
that was a masterpiece. That was great.
Yeah, I
I
love
go
that
back
movie.
and I watched some of the clips. Oh my gosh, I want to watch it now talking about it.
I know.
It's such
Yeah.
a great movie for what it had going. It was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Um yeah, holding out hope for this one. This could be good. But
I think
it's kind of too
it'll
early to
be
call because this is a 30-second teaser and for a lot of it we're just seeing like names and stuff, right?
this is better than the entirety of the Minecraft movie
Yes,
teaser
dude.
and official
Dude, this is
trailer.
so much better
Way
than the Minecraft movie
way
trailer.
better. If you put that into perspective,
I
yeah,
know.
I'm more
Yeah.
excited for this than the actual Minecraft
I would
movie.
100% watch this and I would
I picked this over
0%
the
watch the
Minecraft
Minecraft
movie.
movie.
I
Yeah.
know, this is great.
You want to talk about this?
Yeah,
This is
man, we're
okay, this is politics by the way, just okay.
yeah, get out of here if you don't like it. Bye, losers. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Please stay. Okay, I will say when I was watching this meeting between President Trump and Vance, I was laughing. I texted you guys earlier today.
Yeah.
I was like, it's bad of me to laugh at this because you could see Trump mocking him, making a mockery of Zelensky, like, oh, we don't want to cease fire. Like trying to freaking I don't know why it made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Um
but
Zelensky kind of I don't know, he kind of did an oopsie here, I think.
I
I
think
mean,
he played his cards wrong to some extent instead of
yeah.
actually he was how do you put it at least because to me at least this strikes me as him just wanting to continue the war in Ukraine instead of actually finding a solution like fighting until the end of it.
Yeah.
And this is I really don't think a good way of showcasing to the world exactly, especially to the United States, that yeah, we're done having your back now. You guys have lost your minds
Right.
at this point. And that goes to the Russians as well, because let me say the Russians are just as bad when it comes to this type of stuff too.
Yeah.
And I mean, but
It's like,
um
well, I mean, with his stance on it, he was like, yeah, the last time we tried to make peace with Russia, they didn't make good on their promises. And I can see that. But the question is, what do you want us to do? Do you want there to just bloodshed over and over again forever. Like,
Well,
we are not going to war with Russia. We are not doing that. That is not an option. Um,
no.
it's just not an option. We both have nuclear weapons. It's a non-option to go directly to war with Russia. So,
Hmm.
like, what are we supposed to do? We just they just there's nothing that we can do except make peace. Like,
From what I know, he didn't actually. They were for this meeting. Zelensky was actually supposed to sign a deal. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
for
At the end
some
of the
type
meeting, he
of
was going to sign a deal.
for for rare minerals. He didn't
Yeah,
sign it. From
yeah,
what I know,
yeah.
he
Just
backed
left.
out.
They kicked him
Yeah.
out, as far as
So
I know.
and there was what was it? Some person from the press asked him, "Why don't you wear a suit like the rest of us?" I
Yeah,
was thinking, okay, well,
that's kind of dumb. I don't really care.
I understand,
I
like
mean, it's
it's
kind of a special place, the Oval
respectful.
Office, but it's like I don't really
I
care.
know, but the dude, I guess, doesn't really care all that much
Yeah,
because he is out fighting a war and
yeah,
it's not his main priority.
yeah,
And I honestly don't care about that, to
yeah.
be honest. I thought that was a dumb
I think
question
his
to
response kind of
ask.
insulted JD, but I still don't care. Um,
I really don't care either, to be honest. And I think for what they had going on here, apparently a lot of people were saying this is completely childish and everything, especially on Trump and Vance's part. I didn't. That's just ridiculous. Why would they act like this in front
yeah.
of another leader of the world? And I was thinking, you idiot, this is exactly how they act even behind closed doors. This is just showing exactly what it's like on camera. Why is
Well,
this
I
shocking
think the
people?
thing is like Trump and Vance, they have all the cards. Zelensky has none, and he pretends that
Everything at
he
his
has
disposal.
yeah, he's like a an entitled brat basically at this point. That's how I kind of see Zelensky in this case. Um but to me Trump and Vance kind of came across as like quick to be offended. Like they were like, "Oh, you haven't even said thank you to us yet." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't
But
really care."
he did kind of say thank you though, I would think. He was saying
You
thank
know
you,
what?
but I
He went on a thank you spree
agree.
after the fact. He went around and thanked every single country, I think, except for the U.S. I'm not sure if he did the
What
U.S.
was it? The European nations or something like that. They, from what I know, after witnessing this whole entire meeting, they fully supported Zelensky or
Yeah,
something like that. And
they can run themselves into the ground.
I don't care. The European nations, they have, I would say, far bigger problems
Is
than
it
the
United
United States.
Nations? No,
So here's
EU,
the thing. I don't know why some people are
European
getting this
Union.
they're getting this mixed up. Speaking of the United Nations real quick. So people think the United Nations and NATO are the exact same thing, like they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Like they're thinking, "Oh, well,
Well, to be fair,
since
honestly, I don't know the difference,
okay,
but that's
well,
because I don't
it's
really care
okay.
about.
I know, but to put it simply, NATO is primarily focused on it is a what do you call it? A military comprised of many different countries from around the world as one force to take on another force from whatever,
Yeah.
like in the
Okay.
Middle East, for example.
Yeah.
Like for the Korean War, it was comprised of NATO. So the United States, the British, the Australians, I think, and some other countries as well in order to prevent, North Korea from overtaking South Korea.
Right.
That's what it was. That's NATO. Whereas the United Nations, its goal is to focus on preventing wars. It's supposed to
Okay.
be like peace in a sense.
Yeah.
It'd be better if I looked this up. But the United States decided to withdraw from the United Nations. So, but not NATO. NATO, they're still signed on with NATO, and for some reason, people are thinking that well, the reason why World War One happened was because the United States decided to withdraw from
The
some
world.
other
Yeah.
treaty. Yeah, and I'm thinking, no, that's not it. That's not it at
No,
all. It
everybody
wasn't.
wanted to go to war. That was not.
Everybody
That
did.
wasn't.
Yes,
Yeah, that wasn't us. I mean, even if
and
it was
they
us,
think
it
that
doesn't matter.
it's like you don't know what you're talking about. You got to read it first. You
Yeah.
need just read it. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. It's fine.
Yeah.
Look, I do it all the time. Just if you just read the source material and understanding the difference between the United Nations and NATO,
Yeah.
it's okay to say I don't know. I don't know why people are so scared of saying that now.
Yeah.
They're so
Well, I
wound
said
up in their
I
own
don't know. I
ego.
didn't know the difference, to be honest with you, and
Well, but
it's
yeah,
good to
you
know,
were
but yeah.
honest. That's the difference, and you wanted to know.
Yeah.
So, but there's this conception that because the United States you know, decided to leave
Yeah.
the United Nations, there's this perception that there's going to be this terrible war that's going to happen again, similar to World War One. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, no, that's not it at all. It never happened to begin with.
Right.
But
Um, one thing about this meeting was I I thought I liked Zelensky before the meeting, and that was just from various clips that I've seen of him. And
I never
I
liked him to begin with. I'm sorry. I don't
yeah
like him or Putin.
yeah I don't know if I like him now. And I think I like Trump, but I'm not. I don't agree with everything he does. Um, but I wasn't happy with the outcome of this meeting
No.
because the war's still going on, and that's like I want that to be over because loss of life is never good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not happy with the outcome of this meeting. It's just like what this is not the way this should have gone. Uh, I think probably both sides are in the kind of the not perfect, not necessarily in the wrong. Just like both contributed to the outcome, and that's not an outcome that I wanted. And I should say that I don't fully support Ukraine, and I don't fully support Russia. Well, I definitely don't support Russia, and I don't support Ukraine all the way either. Because it seems like there's some sketchy stuff going on both sides to me.
Yeah.
Like, are we really supposed to believe that Ukraine is righteous and Russia is evil in this
Well,
scenario?
here's one of the things too. I gotta look back at the history on it, but all this spawned from the 2014 coup, from what I know.
Hmm.
There was a coup back in 2014 with, I think it was with Ukraine,
Yeah.
and I think it took place in Crimea, and shortly afterwards, Russia decided to, um, what do you call it? Move troops through Crimea, and I'm forgetting the term, but they managed or annexed. I don't remember what it
Yeah.
was, but they just basically took over Crimea, I think, shortly afterwards, and as a response.
Yeah.
And soon afterwards, I guess they felt an opposing threat by NATO as more of the Eastern European countries decided to join in on NATO
Right.
because it was
And they wanted
expanding towards
Ukraine to
their
join NATO
country.
back then, didn't they?
Well, I don't know if they.
Or they
I
were
actually
thinking
don't
about
know.
it?
I may be wrong, but I don't know if Ukraine did actually sign on with NATO.
I
They
don't
may
think
have
so.
partnered with NATO. They may have,
I don't know.
but I don't know either. I would have
Um,
to double check, but I think for it's just what does it have to do with us exactly?
right.
You
That's exactly it. Yes. In terms
know,
of
what does
who
it have
I
to do with
side
us?
with and who I think is right and wrong, Russia,
We
Ukraine,
have our own problems.
it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that I want the war to end and that I don't care who was right and who was wrong. There needs to be a
As
deal
long
that's
as
made
I
that
get the oil from that country, that's all that matters.
exactly. As long as we get the minerals and the oils, that's what matters.
That's all that matters to us. We don't care about your frickin' war. We don't know. We do,
No, we
but
do. Yeah.
we
The
do,
loss
but
of life is bad. That's the main thing that I believe in here. I don't care who started the war. I don't care who's winning the war, who's losing the war. I don't care who we're supporting. currently. What I do care about is that uh, what needs to come to an end is the war, and it needs to have some deal in it that is not terrible for one side. Like, I feel like both sides should take something away from this. Yeah, Asmongold, he reacted to this, and I don't know, his reaction was not super crazy. He just thought,
His chat is so subjective to changing opinions on the dot,
yeah,
like crazy.
well,
One moment they're like, "Oh, I don't like Zelensky," and
yeah,
then the next moment they're like, "Yeah, I think what he's doing is great."
yeah,
They they don't have any like type of they just jump the bandwagon and that's
right.
it. They don't even stick to their actual morals and opinions and go off from that.
Yeah,
They
there's
just
probably
flip
something
flop.
to that.
All
Yeah,
they do is flip flop.
yeah,
What was it? A there was a clip that I saw where Trump was telling Zelensky something like "You're losing badly," and Zelensky just like opened his eyes widely after that. I thought it was funny.
yeah. He I don't know. I think more respect could have gone both ways, and I don't.
Yeah, but this is honestly, Logan. I even behind closed doors, this is how they act. I would say
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean,
they argue
it's
like
supposed to
this
be
all.
aggressive negotiation because this is, this is about a war. I mean, Trump at one point was like, "World War Three. That's what you're dealing with here is World War
You're
Three. We're
gambling
not
with World
starting."
War Three.
Yeah,
You're gambling with World War Three.
yeah.
It's
I uh, I guess I don't care either who's in the right here, Trump and Vance or Zelensky. It's just that the outcome was not what I was looking for, an end to the war. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that. It's just it's kind of
the
unfortunate, and it's
reporters were
kind of
quiet too. Oh my gosh.
what happened.
The reporters were quiet too.
Oh yeah. Did you see the ambassador from Ukraine? Uh, she was the ambassador for the U.S. Um, one of the reporters with the camera panned over to her, and she was going like this the whole time as Zelensky was talking. Yeah, so I think he made mistakes, and I think Trump probably and Vance probably made some mistakes in this conference that just ended up with something that I didn't really appreciate, an outcome that I
Yeah,
didn't like. Yeah.
my bad. I didn't mean to play that.
Well, we done?
We about done? Yeah, hour 42 in. Honestly, I'd probably like to play a little bit of Fortnite tonight before going to bed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this has been a hectic week in terms of news, I would say.
Certainly.
There's been a lot that's been happening. Like, it's been,
This has been all over
it has,
everywhere.
it really has.
Yeah. I mean, it was big. It was historic. Like, you don't see stuff like this all the time.
Yeah, you don't see two people arguing in front
Yeah.
of the camera like this. What if a bomb dropped on your head right now?
Trump said that. Yeah.
This is gold. We don't have to ask questions.
That's pretty funny. Uh,
You lost so badly.
well, shall we sign off? We good?
They took an opportunity to rip on Biden on the last
Oh, always
administration.
has to. Yeah.
He
He
used this
takes
as an
every
opp
opportunity to rip on Biden.
I thought that was
It's
funny.
always something.
You had an idiot president that we had an idiot president that we were dealing with. All right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm about ready to sign off. I'm about ready to go to bed. I'm tired. I'll probably play a little bit of Fortnite and go to bed. I don't know. I'll think
Yeah.
about it. But
Well, we appreciate you for sticking with us through this podcast. It was more put together than the last one. We're thankful for that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, this is Logan and my beautiful co-host Nelson. Yep. And
Uh, what a way to use those adjectives, Logan. Thank you for listening to us babble. Thank you.
yes, thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.